Today, we want to talk to everyone and give a demo of the onboarding process for a broker who is looking to use our tool and also the experience from sign up to you having a live link to go to our checkout. It's in the buttons of every email that we've sent. It takes you to this checkout. When it comes to consent, how many clients do you need consent from during open enrollment? We all know that during open enrollment, you've got your early people that need help at the beginning of November, and you've got your laggards that start reaching out December 1st. It's just split up into a monthly limit. So that way we as a team can keep an eye and make sure that it isn't being abused. So on this page, you'll see that you can change from 300 to 1,000 to 5,000. And whatever you decide to go with, you can switch from monthly to annual. Annual is a 16% savings for the year. So if, let's say we started with that, we would click add to cart. We would view my cart and just click checkout. From the checkout experience, you're going to fill out the payment information, put in the billing information associated with the card, and check out. You are taken to this page where it confirms that you have that form for up to 300 submissions per month, and it's paid for the year. Next, you're going to go to your email to see a few different emails from us. The first email is a receipt of your purchase for your account. The second email that you're going to get is going to say ACA broker consent, next steps. We can't create a unique URL for you until we have what's unique about you. At this point, you're going to click complete final housekeeping. There are going to be 3 stages to this housekeeping. Stage number 1 is tell us about you. What do you need in your personalized URL? I'm going to go through each one of these questions and what they really mean for you. The company name is going to be the name that the consumer is giving consent to at the business level. So if you are a solo broker, that would be your name. If you have a business name, that would be the business name. And if you're an agency, you're going to want to look at putting the name of only an agency where you are directly integrated with on a day-to-day basis. And what I mean by that is I may be Joshua Brooker, a broker. PA Health Advocates may be the name of the agency that I own and I'm the principal of. I would put PA Health Advocates. I would not put an FMO or an IMO because you're not trying to get your client to give consent for every broker at that IMO. You only put in up to the point that you need consent. You may need consent for your whole office so that if a staff person reaches out and has questions, they have consent under the umbrella of the company. So I'm going to put PA Health Advocates, our office phone number, and our office mailing address. Some brokers work remotely and they receive all of their commission statements and everything to their home address. If that is the case for you, put in the address and just send us an email. You can reply to the one last step email. It'll come right to our team and we'll store the address internally for the point of contact. But if you send us an email, what we do is we will take your street address out of what is displayed and disclosed to the consumer. Email for revoking consent is very crucial. Part of the law says that if a consumer gives you consent, they equally need to be able to request that consent be canceled. And that doesn't typically happen. If you are representing someone and they're happy, they're not going to ask you to not help them anymore. But it is a disclosure requirement. Whoever is the point person that would update your records to show that you no longer have consent That's the email you put here. So I'll put info@PA Health Advocates, name of writing agent. That's me. So that one's pretty straightforward. Whoever the person is that needs the form and needs consent, they're going to be the writing agent. You'll put in your name, your email address, and your NPN. The NPN that you put here should not be the agency NPN. It should not be an upline NPN. This NPN number will be tied to your link. You don't want to put the agency because the agency isn't going to have 5 different links with their NPN forward to 5 different brokers. That's just not possible. Now, there is a place for that. So if you do have an agency level NPN, or you have someone else on your team that is specifically in charge of compliance related questions, you can check yes here, put in their information, their email, their NPN, or the agency NPN. If you are both the point of contact for the client and the compliance person, you can put no here. You don't need to worry about putting that as a separate line item. Brand preferences is just about how you want your link to look. If you have a logo, you upload it here. I'm going to go ahead and upload this logo. I'm going to update the color because we use more of a green color for our website. And I want that to be cohesive when we're talking about our brand. And I'm going to put in pahealthadvocates.com. Now I'm going to click next. You don't have to fill out anything else about yourself, but you do have to attest to these agreements. First one is a BAA. I will point out 2 things. Number 1, it is the agreement between Snap Health and you to say that we are going to be a steward of your client's information at the same HIPAA compliant level that you have to be. We're going to protect your client's information. The additional piece that I want to point out is use and disclosure of PHI. This also protects you because our agreement specifically says the only way that we will use and disclose the information is as necessary to perform the services and otherwise permitted or required by law. We specifically put this line in here to be very clear. Your client's information is protected to the level of HIPAA compliance and will only be used in the course of providing you, the broker, with a confirmation that the client gave consent. On the next page, we get to the final agreement. There's a terms of use here that spells out, we're giving you a license, right? This is not something that you own or you would recreate for your downline or anything like that. This is a license of use, and we're just asking for that to be protected. Once you read through that, the final agreement basically says that I understand I am providing everything true and correct, and you're not pre-filling it and signing on their behalf. The next step is clicking submit. Take a look at your inbox. When you go to your email, the first thing I'll point out is your link is not active. When you complete your form, it goes into our website and it sits pending for one of us to review it. We just want to make sure someone isn't misspelling a name, putting in W dot and creating an error on their website, and then we have the logo formatted so it looks correct. It goes in our system pending. One of our team members goes in, does a quick double check, makes sure that it's ready to go, and then clicks publish. As soon as we click publish, it's live. Our team could go in and do that within a few hours of you completing your piece. It could take up to 1 business day, depending on the time of day. We just ask for a little bit of grace while we make sure that you're good to go before we push something out that has an error in it. You're going to want to save this email for later. It's very, very important. So it has 3 very important things. It has your link that you can distribute to clients. It also has a link back to the broker Housekeeping. So if you need to go back and you need to make any changes down the road, you can click on that link come in here, update it, and it'll push back to our website moving forward. And the last thing is the password for consent. We're obviously not showing it here, but there is a password attached to every client's consent. We're emailing you PII or your client. We want to make sure that it gets to you and it's encrypted so that someone isn't just capturing PDF files and opening them with your client's information. So we just add an additional layer of a password so that when it gets to your local computer and you unlock it, you've got consent. Now that we talked about the onboarding process for brokers, I'm going to shift over to the onboarding process for clients. And what we're going to do is we're going to use this link, this URL that you now have that's branded based upon what you uploaded and what you're using. There are a few key components that I'll point out. The first, your company name, like I said, your information as the point of contact, and the business phone number is listed here. From here, your unique link pre-populates the writing agent name, the company name, and provides the consumer with the information they need to make an informed decision. They are saying, I give permission to PA Health Advocates or your agency and or their staff to provide the following services: search for an existing application, complete an application for eligibility, provide ongoing maintenance for my account, and respond to inquiries from the marketplace. All of these are scopes that you may need all of them or some of them in your daily process as a broker. The consumer understands that you are going to be a steward of their personally identifiable information, and it's going to be held securely based upon regulations. They're attesting that everything that they have provided to you for eligibility enrollment is true and to the best of their knowledge, and that they have the right at any point to change that relationship if they so choose. So the whole premise here is that a consumer will come, they'll see kind of the details of the terms. They have points of contact here. This is the company, their phone number, their address, and then agent point of contact. My broker is Joshua Brooker. This is his email. This is his MPN. When the consumer clicks next, they are routed to a form that's very short. They put in their name, birthday, zip code, email. You must agree to the following. They click and they sign their name. I will note that the whole consent form works on desktop, tablet, and mobile. So you have the authority to either email this link out to your clients to get consent. You can text it to somebody if that's your preferred method of interacting with clients, or you can embed it on your website. So whatever is easiest for you, this has the functionality to handle it. They click submit. They get thank you. You, as the broker, are getting notice of consent, and they'll be in touch, right? The broker will be in touch with you soon from the consumer's perspective. From the broker's perspective, all you've done is provided a link, right? At this point, all you've done is provided a link. And the beauty of this is the whole process is provide a link and get an email. In your inbox, you will get an email from Team Snap Health, says John Doe just gave Joshua Brooker a broker consent. That tells you, hit the ground running. I'm ready to go. I have consent from this client. Now, during open enrollment, as a broker, our suggestion is have the consents come in and then store them for later to be able to put into the client's file or put into Sherpa if you use that platform, or to put it in your CRM. But during open enrollment, the whole premise is that you're getting the name of who you have consent with right in the subject so you can move on and start helping that client immediately. They completed consent. You got an email saying that you have consent, move on. Now, if you want to review the document at any time, you open this email, you click on the PDF, and again, you can download it. Um, but put the password in that was in the you're all set email. And then if you click submit, you can open it, captures the agreement itself. It captures the inputs the client put in, captures their signature and the IP address. So that way, for auditing purposes, you can show the person locally did it on their computer and you have consent. And then the last page basically puts all of the information related to the broker, any future audit you have. Here's the consent that was given, and here's the information from the link related to who they gave consent to. And that's it. The only other thing that we're looking at is if you are going to rely on your inbox and rely on the emails to tell you that you're good to go to start helping that client. The only other suggestion that we're making is that in your inbox, create a folder, label it consents. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take this verbiage, subject, John just gave consent, put in your name, and with Google Workspace, you can go and you can create a filter. Now, if I create that filter, what I'm essentially doing is saying skip the inbox and apply it to consents. Now, the next time someone uses your link, I can have James Smith, let's say, when they go through and they click consent, you can go to your inbox and those consents will be filtered your consent folder. James Smith got pushed to that inbox, still marked as unread. I know it's there. I can always keep it unread and use it to keep track of who I put in the CRM by marking them read or unread down the road. But either way, the whole point is with this filter, the consents are not flooding your inbox. They're flooding the consent folder. And very quickly on your computer or on your phone, if you have your email up, you can look at a consent and see that you've received it. And that consent from the time the consumer clicked submit to the time I got it was about 30 seconds. So you can do this on the fly while you're helping people, or you can email or text it ahead of time. I hope this clarifies a lot of questions. All right. Thank you guys.